Hello there, welcome back to Cinema Synergy Saturdays down here at Brazil Craft Beer and Wine Lounge. We are Season 2, Episode 6, Runtime. Tonight we've got Pitch by Heidi, and we're going to be chatting about kicking off our month of films not filmed in the United States, foreign film, with Run Lola Run.
Someone's drunk.
Yeah, a little bit. Moving on.
Don't look at me, man.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, yeah, we got.
I need no introduction.
The man who needs no introduction.
Okay. The man who needs no introduction, Ryan.
Why do I say
We have
Jenny,
who's frantically silencing her phone.
We have
Jenny
Nick,
comments.
who's dropping in tonight.
Yep.
We have
Special guest
Heidi.
star Nick as himself.
Jordan.
And we have me,
And
Guy La Douche, for most extreme elimination movies.
And of course,
Manos, Hands of Fate.
What just happened?
Alexi.
Do you remember that there's that screen cap of, it's from Rugrats, where the dad is in the kitchen.
I have no control over my life.
Why are you making pudding at 4 a.m.? Because I have no control over my life. That's how I feel right now, right around the time the camera started to turn.
Listen, apparently your wife learned how to make chocolate pudding with coffee in it, and I'm all for that, and that sounds amazing.
I can be caffeinated and get new cavities.
Well, it might not have turned out well, but I just heard about this in text message.
He has to go back to ruling his cats.
so anyways, who would
Want me to do the pitch?
do your pitch?
Right. Heidi's gonna do her pitch. We don't actually know what it is.
Well, that's
No, I'm gonna
that's the
stand up
nature of the
because
pitch, because she's pitching
Yeah,
at us as
I
much as
feel like
everyone
this would be
else.
better.
No one knows what he's
Get the
doing.
real passion that I feel.
That's how I know.
Do we have a timer set for
I'm getting there, getting there,
so we
getting
can,
Oh, what?
I'm gonna say,
We
yeah,
all
it's
time.
it's
Time.
Oh my god, alright.
It's called a 90-second pitch.
I'll do my best.
It's not an ironic title.
I didn't know it was called the
10%
90-second pitch. I thought it was just the pitch.
It's like Ariel Stout, which is
Okay,
Yeah.
so am I starting?
You start when you feel comfortable, and I'll just start the timer.
Okay, alright. So I'm gonna shake things up a bit. We've been pitching one movie. I'm gonna break the mold, everybody. I'm gonna pitch 8 movies.
Holy
all at
crap.
once. How can one person do this? How can I pitch 8 movies in 90 seconds? You're probably
We don't know.
thinking,
We're gonna
"Hell
find
no,
out."
Don't do that, Heidi.
Do I have to pay to
I'm gonna
find
do
out?
it. Yes.
Your segment is going to be huge.
And in major guilty pleasure, I might hear some groans when I say it. Fast and the Furious. My good friend Tyler got me into these movies. He was like, he's a big Vin Diesel fan, and he was like, yeah, he loves these movies.
I have to disown my cousin.
And he was like,
Smack him in the back of the head for me.
I'll tell you what he told me. He said, start with the 4th movie. So that's what I did. And if you are scared of these movies, start with the 4th movie. I swear you will not be disappointed. Okay, so let me give you some of my top reasons why these movies are worth your time. Number 1, ridiculous stunts. You think you have enough testosterone or adrenaline in your body? You don't. Not until you watch the movie. Okay? People jumping out of airplanes and cars with parachutes attached, jumping cars from one window of a skyscraper into the window of another skyscraper, leaping off a moving car and catching someone who has just fallen off a tank and then diving over across a ravine with them, driving a car off a fuck-off massive military plane just before it crashes, driving through a city with a giant safe attached to 2 different cars and destroying half the city in the process and getting $600 million to go and live in Brazil with. Not here. Number 2, goony dialogue and so bad it's hilarious moments. Excessive use of the word family. You have never heard the word family more times in a movie. Just play a drinking game with it, okay?
It's true.
Not even Godfather?
Ridiculous catchphrases. Ride or Die is probably the one you've all heard.
I didn't know that was from this movie.
And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson ripping off his cast with his bare hands, popping like an entire bottle of Vicodin, and then telling his daughter to be good before heading off to kill some bad guys.
I love it.
Fantastic. Okay, and if you're looking for eye candy, gratuitous shots of scantily clad women swinging their bums right in front of the finish line before every race. You get one of these shots in every movie, and you will see some ass cheeks. If you're a lady, don't worry, there's eye candy for you too. We've got Vin Diesel, we've got Dwayne The Rock Johnson, we've got Paul Walker, we've got Jason Statham, we've got Sung Kong Kang. If you don't know him, he's a very sexy looking Asian man.
Nice.
But I could gush about these movies forever, but since I only have 90 seconds and it looks like it's way over.
Well, my logic is there was some talking which slowed you down, and quite frankly, you have 8 movies, so I'm giving you a little bit more time.
Yeah. But Jordan and I love these movies. We love them so much that it's become our Easter tradition to marathon them while painting clay pots. The reason being these movies are like super sexy, and you know Easter's all about sexy bunnies. So.
Now, I would just like to point out, I want to point something out as kind of a throwback here. The fact that Fast and the Furious is the Frames Easter tradition doesn't make it an Easter movie. Just throwing that out there.
That's true.
Well,
and if you
I will tell you
like
why.
nostalgia, okay, here's one more reason for you. Paul Walker, who's the star of these movies, died in a life-imitating art accident because he was Tokyo drifting his $500,000 sports car around Los Angeles.
I call that karma, really.
How's that for you?
I call it just desserts.
He was, that's true. But still, the guy who was with was also
one of those.
someone who worked on the movies, so yeah. So that's my pitch. These movies are worth your time. I would not touch them for years. I was super prejudiced against them because of the obvious reasons. I'm not a car person. I know nothing about cars.
Well,
Don't care about them, but
I was afraid that Jenny and Ryan were going to be tough acts to follow with the pitch. Heidi, you did a fantastic job. Greg, I'm sorry.
I'm okay with this. Jordan, your Shintaro Katsui fan membership club card, please.
did I get you in trouble?
I did. You did. You got me in trouble.
Also, your Sunny Chiba fan membership club card.
Sonny Chiba's in Fast and the Furious Tokyo
Yes.
Drift.
Only in one of them for a moment.
It's okay, Jordan. I won't judge you too hard
The
for being a
best
fan
one.
of Fast and the Furious because I really like the remakes of Death Race.
Ooh.
No David Carradine.
Oh, is that big? Ooh, we may
I
have a
started
showdown for that
watching the
sometime in the
first
future.
one.
Watch it
Oh,
sometime.
yeah.
And got to the point where they started almost killing the guy who owns the parts shop, and just for some reason never made it further than that point.
Yeah.
But I need to like get back
It's
into
in
it.
there.
Yeah, Tyler's advice was really good though. If you start with number 4, that's a really good entry point into it because that's when they get like really like more heisty.
You know,
Oh, yeah, I like
for George Lucas.
I-
Why not?
I hate the
started with
drift
number
car
one.
culture movies.
Number 1 I like.
So it's just that series to me is just like fuck it.
I love
Even Initial D,
heist movies,
you know,
so
I
I'm
don't
know. No, I don't
that
like
sounds
Initial
fun to
D.
me. That sounds like I love heist movies. And driving.
They are all.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even like
Heidi's
Gone in
right.
60
Go
Seconds.
watch them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
good
fun.
Don't pay to watch them.
Really?
Go and watch them.
Roger Corman, crazy 70s car chase movie.
Nope.
All right.
It's not a bullet. Like bullets as far as I'll get in a car chase.
So we're gonna talk about
Run Lola
Run, Lola, Run.
Run, Lola, Run. Something with no cars in it at all except that ambulance.
No,
I'm on Team Ambulance Driver.
Car, the one that she flips over, and then the one that it T-bones.
Yep.
Or rear ends. Or
And there's a moped.
and the moped that gets lifted. And the taxi cab doesn't know where he's going.
The first Mad Max is technically a 70s
Mad
car
Max
chase
is
movie.
its own beast.
Granted.
Now it's an Oz. It's the king of all Ozploitation films. is what
No,
Mad Max is.
Mad Max 2.
Franchise. Anyhow, just my thought, because among us, Jenny seems to have the most enjoyment for Run Lola Run. Would you like to kick things off, or
I
we-
can if
somebody
nobody
else?
cares.
nobody cares?
Let me get a beer.
First off, thank you to Adria for putting this on the list because I never would have watched it unless she put this on the list. of
Actually,
movies.
let me do a quick aside. I know, Jordan, you've seen it before. Nick, have you seen Run Lola Run?
Yes, I have.
Okay. You saw it before we talked about
Yes.
this here?
I saw it years and years and years ago.
Probably
Really
with
short
probably with me and
paper
Adrian. Okay.
Run Lola
Who here has not seen it before
So
deciding to do this?
I want the 2 hours of my life back.
Oh!
Yeah.
You did find a dissenter.
So, do I want to do a little bit of brief summary of Run Lola Run?
Yeah.
So, Run Lola Run starts out with
Run with it.
It is a German film. I actually don't know if it's set in Berlin or not. Nobody ever specified it, but it's in a German city. It's 1998.
It looks like it. Deutsch Bank.
1998 film. Lola, who has a fabulous dye job, by the way, finds out that
It wasn't
her...
really a good dye job. She couldn't wash her hair for 7 weeks, otherwise it would have faded.
Well, but
That's not because
I
of
still
dye
saw
job,
sections
that's
of
because
blonde
the
in her
hairstyle.
hair.
I thought her hairstyle was excellent. She is her wannabe gangster boyfriend has fucked up a major, I think, diamond deal. It seems
No,
like
he was getting a test. It was a test.
it
It was just to go and see whether or not he was trustworthy.
Has lost 100,000 marks, and she basically gets a hold of him and has 20 minutes to solve this problem. Which is what I would consider a very typical movie. The fun part is she goes and gets to keep rewriting the story.
The basic premise of the movie, I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Basic premise of the movie, she gets caught, like Jenny said, she gets caught from her boyfriend. I lost 100,000 marks, and I'm being tested by my boss,
Yes.
who's a gangster. And gangsters kill people who lose 100,000 of their marks.
Amusing
That's
thing.
kind of what they do. So, title of the movie, Run Lola Run. Lola runs downtown to try and figure out how she's going to fix this. Because Lola, apparently in this relationship, fixes everything.
Yeah.
The general premise of this movie, and the reason that I like it so much, because I'm a huge fan of this kind of alternative narrative nonsense, is that basically the movie plays out as a short film in about 20 to 30 minutes.
Just about, yeah.
Roughly. Then it kind of rewinds itself and says, okay, well, what if when Lola's running down the stairs of her flat, or whatever Germans would call
Dog
it.
bites her.
There's
No,
a
the
dog.
kid- the kid trips
Oh,
her
yeah.
the second time.
There's a dog and a kid in the stairwell, and the kid trips her. So now she fell, and basically her entire run is delayed like 4 seconds. And the kind of narrative exploration here is how does that 4 seconds impact everything that's about to follow?
Yes.
And then
That's sort of the butterfly effect.
for the final aspect of
Pre-butterfly.
it, when she sees the kid and the dog on her stairs, she like jumps over it and kind of shaves 4 seconds off.
And
says-
roars like a lion.
roars like a dog. I do that at people all the time, though, to be fair. So, again, the
Sound effect was
concept is
angry
kind
bull.
of like if you're 4 minutes or 4 seconds faster, what kind of an impact does this have on it? And like Trav said, it's a very butterfly effect kind of thing.
Yes.
And that's the whole premise of it. It's less, the movie's less about being a gangster crime movie
Yes.
with action. It's about how can such a little thing have such a huge impact.
They're not subtle about it at all. Like
They're
there's
not.
a thing with dominoes
It's
falling.
not subtle.
Oh, yeah, there's totally the
Anyway,
the
now that
thing.
I've stolen your thunder.
No, that's fine. It was a better summary than what I did. I liked it because I kind of like that concept of the redo. I like that they use it in Doctor Who a couple times, and they use it in different like sort of sci-fi media. And the vibe that I got, which people can feel if you disagree with me, is that Lola is at least some point aware that this is round 2, that this is round 3, because she does things in the second go through and the third go through. She reacts to things.
She knows how to take
The safety off the
safety off
gun.
the gun.
She jumps over the stairs so the dog or the kid can't mess with her.
See, I didn't take it as Lola knows that it's a round 2. I just took it as your thought process
She
can
was
be
thinking
wildly
through.
different
Well, like-
if you give it a few seconds.
Like
if
what if I do this, but what if this happens?
If I don't know how to handle a gun, and I'm with someone who knows how to handle a gun, I'm asking them a million questions. Like, how do I take the safety off the gun? That you do this. If I'm not with someone who knows how to handle a gun, and I'm like, click, like I'll just mess
Start
with it
clicking around
until I can
whatever.
try to figure it out. That's kind of my take on it, where like your thought process can be radically different a few seconds later. It kind of plays into the alternative narrative, into the butterfly effect aspect of it, where if you take a second to think about it, or if you don't take a second to think about it, it changes everything, it changes your view. That was my take on that.
And then I
I
can
never thought that she seemed aware
I think
of what was
Greg
going on.
has something.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Greg. What was your-
1998 Deutschmark to US dollar translation. 10,000 Deutschmarks equals
100,000.
100,000 equals $55,000 US.
That's still a significant amount of
That's
money.
still more money than I made last year.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
That's a lot of money
I
for
think we
20
could put our
minutes.
money together. It's a lot of money to leave on a train.
Very true.
Her boyfriend kind of deserved it.
Quite frankly, $50 is a lot of money for me to leave on a
The
train.
reason why I think that even if Lola doesn't have conscious knowledge of what happened in the previous versions of the story, she's not the only one who reacts, because there's the scene at the towards the end where, in the third run through, where her dad is taken off and she's standing outside, and the security guard comes out and is staring at her, and it's almost mirror to mirror. He starts to have the same panic reaction that
Yeah,
he had when she had a gun pointed at his
The
head.
security guard I'll write off as an anomaly, yes, as a narrative element, as a anomaly to be
Because
to that.
he shows
Well,
up in the
one I'll
intro
get. Yeah,
part.
that's,
Yeah,
and that's
Sort of an
a
odd god character.
there's a phrase for it, and I can't think of it. Like a movie element, like storyteller, observer type thing that I cannot think of for the life of me. I will think of it in like 4 days.
Of course.
Until
Like
everything.
later tonight, you're gonna be like, oh.
Yeah, later
Yeah.
I'm gonna be laying awake at 2 a.m. going, I have to be up in the morning, and I still can't think of that.
Doug, add this into the editing. This is what Ryan thought of.
It's just gonna flash on the screen and be like, it was this.
This is the thing that he could not think of.
The opening sequence is cool.
Survey
With
says.
the different,
Yeah. Because check it out. Here's what I think the opening sequence is about, right? So, fucking the director Tickveer or whatever his name is. I can't.
German.
Yeah. Reinhold Tickveer. What was this? Somebody look up the director.
I'm on it.
Tom
I read
Tickveer.
in common.
That's what it is, right?
I think
like,
so.
Say tub.
I actually wanted to ask about the opening sequence. Is that like some sort of a German like art film convention?
Yeah,
It
well,
seemed
opening
really
sequence is like
I didn't
Roll
get
that
it.
around.
It was
Tom
it was,
Tickwer.
Tom
Twerker.
it was
Tom
strange
Twerker.
and it was hard to connect with the rest of the movie.
But like, I think what he was doing is, like, Tom Tickveer knew a whole bunch of guys from the German New Cinema movement, which was like this thing that kind of happened in like the 70s, 80s. It's like
Oh
where Werner
god, the
Herzog
Berlin experiment.
got his whole thing, and like the kind of Berlin experiment happened, and it was like Werner Herzog started there. Fucking Fassbender was one of the people, you know, like Wim Wenders, you know, like they all got like all their money together, and they were like, you know, they kind of did a few things that were kind of like they were inspired by like the French New Wave, like before that, but they were like way more political because they had the whole, you know, like communist East and West like thing going on, and they were like just super destroyed by World War II, and they're trying to get their film industry back together and everything. But like, they got super boring, and I think Tom Tickveer realized that because the opening sequence of Run Lola Run is, I think it's a like a visual motif and like just kind of like a narrative structure and like a weird like thing going on that's like taken almost directly from this Wim Wenders movie called Wings of Desire, which there was an American remake of with Nicolas Cage. It was terrible.
Sounds terrible.
Well,
I just want you to know that under pretty much zero circumstances, unless you told me to, would I ever watch a movie called Wings of Desire starring Nicolas Cage?
no, Wings of Desire doesn't star Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
Wings of Desire stars German
what's the name of the
people.
remake?
I can't remember. It was Nicolas Cage and
I hope
Meg
it's
Ryan.
still
It was
Wings of
awful.
Desire.
Oh, was it City of Angels?
Yes, City of
Oh
But yeah, it's like the
Holy
same
shit.
thing.
I wish it was called Wings of Desire starring Nicolas Cage.
Except the
That's part of the subtitle you have to
Yeah,
do.
The whole name. No, that movie was
City of
Meg Ryan
Angels,
and Nicolas
Wings
Cage
of
before.
Desire.
It was bad.
like the security guard like turns to the camera and stuff, and he's like, you know, the only things we have going on here is that the game lasts 90 minutes and Paul's round or whatever, and he kicks the fucking
Yeah.
The
soccer
soccer
ball
ball,
into the
yeah,
air.
yeah.
Kind of
Which,
like,
by the way, the movie's 75 minutes long. Just throwing that out there.
yeah.
Come on, couldn't they come find 15 more minutes?
I know, right?
But so I think he's like trying to divorce himself from the
Yeah, no, absolutely.
from the
So,
New German cinema.
do you have something to add?
There's one thing about the movie I liked.
Okay.
Right in the beginning, the opening sequence with the crowd and everything, they reference Albert Camus.
Oh, they do.
The Killer Whale?
No. Albert Camus. He's a French Algerian philosopher from the 40s, 60s, contemporary of Sartre.
And he's
And he says, the ball is round. The game lasts exactly 90 minutes. Everything else is theory. That was Albert Camus. Yes. Camus. Sorry.
Yeah.
Camus. Albert Camus' The Stranger, where he's explaining the game of soccer to someone. Soccer, football, association soccer.
Never mind, this is totally
Explaining the game of football to someone who does not understand, to the most basic elements, to the extent of two groups of men fight over a ball, kicking it between two sticks. That's the only thing I like besides Manny getting run over by a bus.
the elder.
I'm gonna get back to you in a minute. I'm gonna move to you, unless you have something you wanted to add.
No, I have some questions.
Okay.
I know Nick had some good things to say about the music, but we can get back
Now,
to
let me ask you this, Jordan. As our educated film buff, I had two things, and I'm already losing grasp on them due to the drink with the straw.
Sorry.
How different do you think this movie would be if it was an American movie?
I don't think it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't.
If Hollywood decided to make this movie,
The whole thing about this movie is
I'm going to ask you this question a ton
Right.
all month because it's foreign movie
Nice.
month.
I don't think this movie would have gained any traction in the United States
Uh-huh.
had it not been for like Pulp Fiction and all the imitators that come out after that.
Oh, with the
because,
different-
like after even like Reservoir Dogs, right?
Reservoir Dogs was first.
Yeah,
I don't like Reservoir.
that's what I'm saying.
I
After
do.
like Reservoir Dogs, Quentin Tarantino made it acceptable to have weird narratives in
Right.
like American films, right? Like,
I
before
buy
that,
that.
nobody fucked around, right?
It's
Nobody-
true.
Yeah, nobody liked to chop their movies up. And
There's
then
probably a few out there, and they're probably terrible.
yeah, after that, there were a ton of them. There were like a ton of crime films with weird narratives.
There
There
was.
was like Boondock Saints. There was Things to Do in
Call that a
Denver.
war crime against film.
Once Upon a
right there.
Time in
That's
Mexico,
Once
the
Upon a
entire
Time in
Mexico
Mexico.
trilogy.
Memento.
Yeah.
I love the
Memento,
hell out of
definitely
Memento.
Memento.
Dog.
Right, and then like there was this whole.
I love alternative narrative movies
Right.
in the same way I
Robert
love
Rodriguez.
found footage films.
Right.
You're all gonna want to stab me by the end of the night.
Probably.
But there was
Hold
like
on, I'm saving it for when we do found footage.
there was a series of like films that like came out after Reservoir.
Right, no,
Dogs,
totally.
With the weird like flash.
As you always see, though, every time something really popular comes out and it's
Copycats.
super successful, everything copycats. I remember when The Matrix came out.
Yeah.
How many movies had the
Bullet
slow motion,
time.
the bullet time,
Right.
the leather
Wire
jackets,
fighting.
Right.
the wire fighting? When Inception came out, you still can't get away from that sound effect.
But only in
It showed
trailers.
up in video games.
I know,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
To be fair, you're right though. Like you see it more in trailers way more than
Yeah,
anything
but
else.
there's like there was a sequence of like these films that came out. Probably Killing Zoe's in there somewhere, which is fucking awesome. You know, there's just like a whole bunch of them, and I don't think like I'm pretty sure like Run Lola Run would have like it would have won like Cannes, maybe like a Golden Bear at like the Berlin Film Festival
Right.
or whatever. But like we never would have. Yeah, they have the Golden Bear.
But,
Berlin
like-
Film Festival is awesome. But
So-
we never would have heard
So
of
I
it
want you to
until
put
the
on
internet.
your weird hat for a
Right.
second.
Does he ever take it off?
No, like for Jordan weird hat.
Oh God, I need
Jordan-
to move away.
Jordan always wears the
down
standard
that
weird
hole.
hat.
I'm
so-
going to start syncing up with my weirdness.
I want you to like think
Across the
outside
screen.
the box for a second. Let's say for a second that our screenwriter pitches his movie to a Hollywood producer instead of a German one.
Right.
How does this movie end up different?
This movie ends up.
Because
I
it's
would
not going to
say-
be the same movie.
Right.
It absolutely won't be the same movie.
This movie ends up fleshing out the last segment.
The
Yes.
very last
So,
segment.
yeah,
So
like-
instead of the majority of it being the first segment, because the first
Majority.
segment is almost real time 20 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
The second segment and the third segment are not.
Right.
They definitely are not. I had to pause the movie
So-
enough times to deal with my
They'll
baby to tell
probably
you for
break-
sure
Right.
that those segments were not 20 minutes.
They'll probably break down like every single thing that matters
Yeah.
and explain it to you from 3 different
Right.
views.
You're almost right. They will break down every single thing that doesn't matter.
I was gonna say well, they would break down
Different
almost
myths.
nothing.
Well, like what they'll do is they'll have the whole third segment. They'll have her like
Yes.
walking around. Like they'll have the stuff with her dad and the ambulance. They'll probably take some stuff from the second segment because it's soap opera, like her like or the first and second segment, like her like being the mailman's kid.
There will be a way longer segment of them in bed talking about their feelings.
There would be.
That's why a segment
Yeah.
was too long as it was.
It was. That's how you know for sure Hollywood would extend it
They
like
make
4
the
times.
they make the gangster the character. They make the gangster like a big deal character.
Yes.
They do.
They flesh out
Yes.
the part. They like have like a 20-minute sequence in the middle where he's doing the deal, at the greenhouse or whatever for the ecstasy or whatever they're doing, and they do the third segment with a little bit from.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you just said.
The other thing that I might add to that, and don't take me at my word because I'm not the film buff here, but this film is notable because it's got like almost 16,000 transitions and cuts through it, and they're much faster in the beginning and much, much slower in the third segment, which is the opposite of how American cinema does it.
It really is.
What was I going to say? I think I agree with. I think they would look much different. I think you would have spent way more time on the interpersonal drama between the whole shit with her father, whether or not biological father, and then the whole thing with the woman he was having the affair with. That would have been a major plot point.
Right.
Where incidentally it really wasn't. It just bounced between wherever she walked in the narrative, depending on where he was.
Right.
And I agree, the second section was very soap opera-y.
Yeah. Manny would have had a lot more shit. There were probably been like things of like him talking to the gangster a bit more, maybe getting chased around by some of the guys. You know, it would have been
the bum
like that. The bum might not have even been there. Even though he's like the catalyst through the entire movie, the bum might have been cut out entirely.
The bum just wants to buy someone
the
an
bum
extra
was
beer.
Awesome. He wanted to buy somebody.
That bum has a plan.
He bought the bicycle off the bicycle thief. The bicycle thief. Oh
that's
shit!
The other.
That's a reference to a movie called The Bicycle Thief. It's I give up. Well, I just realized it now. It's
There was a lot of build up.
Or an Italian movie called Bicycle.
It's an Italian movie called The Bicycle Thief.
Continue.
It's an Italian neo-realist film called The Bicycle Thief.
Neo-realist.
That's the other evidence that Lola is at least retains some awareness between loops, because she knows in the second movie, she says, he goes, "Do you want to buy a bike?" And she's like, "It's stolen."
Right.
So that shows a level that she didn't react like that in the first one. So in my opinion, I think that shows a link that she knows what is happening between.
Welcome back after a surprise and completely unplanned and unscripted break. We were in the middle of discussing Run Lola Run. We interrupted Jenny's train of thought, and we're hoping she can pick up where she left off.
Shit, no. What was I talking about?
We were talking about the Italian movie Bicycle Thief.
The bicycle.
No, I feel like we hit something after that.
We did, but it was after the technical difficulties.
Oh shit! I have no idea what I was talking
It was the
about.
cartoon stuff.
Oh, that's
But
right.
we were talking about Bicycle Thief.
Oh.
Bicycle Thief.
What's the connection to the movie Bicycle
Nothing.
Thief?
He just wanted to reference Bicycle Thief.
Okay, fair enough.
Because there's a bicycle thief in it, and like, you know.
Okay, not every movie with a bicycle thief is a reference to an Italian
Well,
movie.
no, it is
named
because
Bicycle
he has
Thief.
other references
That's not
to
fair.
other movies. Because
if I make a movie
Right.
called Gangster Shoots People,
Right.
every movie with a criminal who pops someone off is a reference
like
to
this,
my movie.
this director likes to do that shit because later on there's a reference to.
Apparently,
fucking,
it's jam-packed with references to Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, and Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo with like all the spirals and shit in the staircase, I guess.
And that weird spiral clock thing on the wall behind Manny when he's in the phone booth.
And when Lola gets shot in the street in the
That's
first
really good.
sequence, it's fucking like Jean-Luc Godard's My Life to Live at the end where the lady gets shot. Yeah,
Lola got shot in the second sequence.
First one.
And I can see him laughing through that too. That's the best part of all.
He laughs a lot.
Because he loves Batman.
yeah, so I think it's a reference because definitely the opening sequence is a reference to fucking Wings of Desire.
Starring Nicolas
Yeah, and there's you want to see a good movie starring Nicolas Cage?
No.
Motherfucking Wild at Heart.
I was gonna go with freaking
I
Liquor
didn't
Man.
necessarily. I didn't necessarily.
Y'all got a weird concept of good.
Yeah, I was about to say
I'm
that.
terrified of beasts, so that scene is just pure terror to me.
The
Animation
original
section.
Liquor Man.
The cartoon sequence.
Yeah.
Here's where I pull out
allergic
something
to
super
bees, so
obscure.
that scene is just-
The cartoon sequence was interesting. Don't know why they had that particular sequence for the stairs, other than like they didn't have the budget to keep filming it. But all I could think of
This whole movie
was
had a budget of $5.
that's very true. All I could think of was the late '90s, early 2000s Disney Channel program Lizzie McGuire, where she
Did
had.
someone watch that show?
All I could think of was Tank Girl.
Weirdly enough, the
Which
animation was
also
very
came out
similar.
like 96.
I was very reminded of, because the whole Lizzie McGuire thing is she'd have like these asides to the camera that were done as very similarly styled animation where she spoke directly to the camera. And that's the first thing that leapt into my
That's
head
me.
every time I saw those
I
sequences.
thought about the Canadian version of that called Student Bodies.
Yeah, Lizzie McGuire. That's what I
When
was
I
like.
saw it, the
Student
way it
Bodies
was
is my
animated, I actually thought Peanuts. Like,
And it's the very rough style, like the head style.
Like the Dr. Katz
Yeah.
squiggly animation
Like,
style.
and I feel like I should find a picture of from that, but like
If we find a
the way
picture, it won't.
way she drew the way the heads were drawn, the movement style, sort of the super deformed style of it. I was just like, this reminds me of Lizzie McGuire, and that might just be time period wise more than anything else.
Yeah.
Because that's very like liquid television.
Yeah.
Like very like just fucking like weird, gross 90s animation. Like those fucking Tom Tom Club fucking music videos with like the.
It kind of looked like some old thing you would have seen on Newsgrounds right about that time.
However,
Newsgrounds?
In the late 90s, there was a British animated TV show that was, I think it's the same animator who did this. I mean, I would have to like actually check that, but they did the animation for like, do you remember the Radiohead video?
You're looking at the wrong person for that, I'm pretty
Yeah, I
sure.
probably
listen to Radiohead. Okay.
No.
Nick
Well,
is
there was
about the only person on this side of
Radiohead
the table that might know.
music
You
video
don't
about
know
the same
Radiohead,
time, late 90s, like 97, 98, that had the same exact kind of.
I was just
animation.
discovering real music around then, and Radiohead wasn't one of them.
What year are we talking about?
97, 98.
Lizzie McGuire animation.
I just got done listening with Charlie Daniels and I started listening to Metallica.
Nice.
And then I became a
I
metalhead.
was discovering things like Aerosmith
Watch,
and Korn and
Paranoid
Eminem.
Android.
I would not classify Korn as real music.
1990.
I was a deranged teenager. So
I know, I was about the same age. I was in chorus and everyone was
You were
talking
just
about
moping
Freak
in
on the
different
Leash.
ways, right?
I actually wanted to bring this up to you. I feel like they used two different types of cameras, and you could obviously tell that.
The
Yeah.
scene where the guy was talking to
his
his
mistress.
mistress.
Yeah.
It was definitely a different camera.
It was.
Well, I think they were trying to make that look like a soap opera. Like they used video footage for that, like you use
Yeah.
on TV.
Yes.
It was really grainy.
Yeah.
Gray
There was a
scale.
few scenes like that.
Right?
Sorry, I don't know where I was.
With
I was going to say, unless you want some.
No, thank you. I don't know where I was.
Yeah, and
It's
like with
Cabernet.
everything else they used
It's a
like
Cabernet.
the it's okay.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
I think it's a Cabernet old song.
Right. They used
What
the,
was the
they just used like camera film. They used like
I'm sorry, no, keep going.
no.
Other than the scene with, I'm just blanking on the scene. There was every scene where where the mistress and the dad were talking.
Right.
What was the other sequence that
Feel
used
it
that
down.
particular shot? It was in the third round. Because it was Lola
Feel it down.
talking with that, and I thought it was unusual for that shot.
Right. She was talking to the guy in the.
No, actually, the response.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
the
where she was
dying
holding
guy.
the dying guy, was holding up the dying guy.
It was still some soap opera shit because
Yes,
it was like
yes,
holding
yes.
his hand.
Well, yeah, because it was a random guy.
Yeah.
I will stay with him.
Right.
It's not a random guy.
was-
it's
it
the
was
security guard.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't the security guard. It was the guy
No,
driving
we
the
looked it
car.
up. It was
No, we looked it up. It's the security
It
guard.
was
It was
supposed to
security
be
guard.
the security
Because
Really?
I thought it was the guy driving the car too. I thought it was Mr. Miles, but
during
it was
section
actually-
2, when she holds the gun to him at the end, he's clutching his chest.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And carry over to third,
Well,
third
that furthers your narrative even more. About
carrying it
Yeah.
over to the third boot. He says, "So you finally shown up?
Yeah.
You're late."
And he still has the heart, and that's
And
furthers the some relative knowledge of
Right.
and you never see who's inside the
The ambulance.
Until that.
What we're
because it's
talking
him and then Michael Shanks, the German EMT. I'm sorry, all I could think of it was looked like Michael Shanks.
We're talking
Yeah,
about-
he does look like Michael Shanks.
We're talking about the string theory with the narrative.
Are you trying to say
But
all
when
the
you,
German folk
Okay,
are
we're
alive?
getting into fucking physics.
But like, there's this whole other
So?
like part of the fucking
I
narrative
never
that might
studied
actually
physics.
be chaos theory, which is all these things are happening simultaneously in a whole bunch of different universes.
Yeah.
And Lola and Manny are aware of all of them, and the security guard.
I disagree that Manny is aware.
Yeah, Manny's not aware of
Manny's
anything.
Because Manny's
barely aware of
reaction-
what's in front of him.
Manny's
And this ties back into what I mentioned. I mentioned that my attitude, or how I viewed a lot of all the men in this movie.
Right.
They were either sleazy or incompetent or a combination
both.
of both.
No, absolutely.
What about the security guard? He was, well, I guess he was
sleazy.
kind of
Pretty
a-
damn useless.
And
He's the guy who
honestly
has his gun
incompetent.
stolen.
Right.
By a girl.
not how it-
Manny
Doesn't matter that it was a
and
girl,
not
sexist.
that like, and I
not
said
how
this, not that I'm
holsters
like, ooh, I want all the dudes in my movies to be sleazy and
Right.
incompetent. It made a lot. It was a consistent narrative arc.
Right.
It might just be Lola's view.
It could be, but a lot of
Those are the
this.
people Lola hang out with.
But here's the.
We don't even have to worry about who she's examining.
That is-
Take a look
that
at
is
her
true.
father and how he is with
And that section where they're doing the weird gungeon porn.
Bring it in. Everyone's talking about something different.
No, and I agree. There are sleazy women, but there is more narrative focus on. You get a lot of focus on her dad. You get a lot of focus on Manny. All the sleazy women are those one-shot. What is going to happen because they ran into Lola in this one
Right.
sequence?
Those
they're
were
not
amazing.
Those are not
Fraulein
well
Jäger.
done. That
And
was
then
actually one of my big complaints
Fraulein
about the
Hunter-
third
Mrs.
go around is you don't find
Okay.
out the narrative storyline for. You see the one for the mom.
Right.
The third time where she finds Jesus.
And I think that's
Was
about
the
it.
mom
And that's-
Jesus or was it someone else?
It's
And
not
the
the
mom, because
the first
during
round.
round 2, she wins
round-
the lotto.
Because round 1 she loses the baby to
It's
CPS.
kidnapped.
They steal another baby.
Or
Round
maybe
2
her baby. We're not clear.
I thought she had stolen the baby.
she steals another baby.
Maybe she's the
Round
baby.
2 she wins the
Yeah,
lotto.
and
Round
round
3
three
she finds Jesus.
Jesus.
Round but you don't see. That was actually one of my disappointments in the third round is you don't see the storyline for the lady, the like severe lady in
Right.
the
Frau
in the office.
Jäger.
Yeah, because you kind of see the storyline for the bike thief because he doesn't get beat up and he doesn't
He
get
gets
the love of
70
his
marks
life.
for a stolen bike, and he's
He
on
goes
his way.
and he
He had
buys a hot
70
dog.
bucks
and
and
so
did
then he
something
kind
else.
of gets a storyline.
But
and
in the first one, he gets goes to the hospital because he has an accident
and
finds
meets the
his
love of
true
his life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they-
and you don't see that with that, and you do get a little bit of the car driver. I can't remember his name, who is in the
Mr.
head-on
Myers.
collision. Whether or not I'm still not entirely sure if they survived that head-on because it's not really
I'm
clear.
fairly certain, based off the fact we don't see any other ambulances, they might be dead.
It's very
They would still
ambiguous.
put in an ambulance and drag to a hospital.
Yeah, but it's very ambiguous in that shot whether or not they survive it. So you kind of see a line for them, even if it doesn't go
Well,
as far as it
It's
did
getting less
previously.
into chaos
Hand of
theory,
God.
it's more into strength theory.
But
Hand of God says
Yeah.
at least the guy on the moped does not survive because it is the guy from the beginning introduction
the
who
one
stole
who
her
stole
moped.
her moped.
And he's
So
getting
that's who's getting
karma.
his karma.
But actually, because
One
you
bumper
do
at a
get
time.
some
Oh.
narrative wrap up for the two of them, you don't get a narrative wrap up for the severe looking lady in the office.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm just gonna assume that where she lives the life with the clerk and a
Yeah.
dominatrix.
And a
Like,
dominatrix.
I'm just gonna assume that's her.
She drives on a boat.
That's fine.
That's
I mean,
fine.
whatever, they're German, that's
Yeah.
normal.
She,
for them.
They do some
she
banging.
gets to use the strap on
No
of
judging
justice.
there. Germany.
That just seems fine to me. Like, I guess I'm gonna have to go with that storyline.
Oh, God.
But here's the thing though, is because
Sister
now it is chaos theory again because Lola's the only one who's not ineffectual in the movie because all of her everything about her is because she's dictating what's going on with intention, which is what the
Yes.
screams does.
Technically, during the third round, Manny
Yeah.
also steps into that role. During that whole thing of, like, are you going to leave me if I
Right.
die? That whole thing where he died during round number 2.
Oh, but also, Tom Tykwer, his first movie was there's this fucking other director called Rosa Fraunheim.
Hey,
It's
Rice
just-
Nick.
Yeah, it's just
You okay?
fucking it's just like some random new German cinema person who did a whole bunch of documentaries about how it's shitty to be gay, pretty much. And like, but like he suggested that Tom Tykwer do like record all the fucking stupid arguments he's had with his girlfriend and make them into a movie, and I think that's one of the ones that gets into this movie.
I believe that.
you know you had that one.
Heidi.
It's like, what would happen if I died? I don't know.
I feel really bad for a couple of weeks and then I'd stare at a wall.
I would mourn for a period and then start dating your sister. I mean,
No, it was the other way around. The guy was.
It would be
bitching about
really
the fact that
awkward
I
at the funeral.
Yeah, it'd be really weird when I was making out with your sister at the funeral.
I
At the funeral?
Heidi, I feel bad for you right now.
At the funeral? Come on. I at least wait for the after party.
That because also
Where's a funeral
one of
after
her
party?
sisters is married to my
I
son's
forget what it's actually called. What do you call it? Wait.
Wait.
The wait.
Wait comes before the
I disagree that Manny.
I thought you were going to say I
is-
disagree that you shouldn't make out at a funeral.
I know. I disagree that Manny is proactive in the third sequence because he is only in the situation that he is in because of Lola's actions or lack of action.
No, he's in the
No,
situation
he
that he's in
blames
because he
Lola
left
for
money on the
everything.
line.
No, I agree. No, I agree. He blames Lola for everything. He expects her to fix it, even though she can't, whether she can or cannot. But
she can.
he is only in the position to chase down the guy on the bike because of the actions that, or lack of action that Lola has taken in the third round. So I still
Well,
believe that
his
Lola is the
perception
only.
of her lack of action.
That's an
Yes.
external locus of control. It's
And I
like
think Lola is the external
What
locus.
have you got?
Yeah, what are your
I had a bunch of notes.
I want to know what they are.
The Heidi question.
Please jump
Okay,
in.
well, since we're kind of talking about sleazy dudes, I had a question about
Over here, yeah.
the bank security guard. He was the most interesting male character in this entire movie to me because of some, the stuff he says to
Yes.
Yes.
Lola. It's weird.
It is
Yes,
The
yes.
very.
way
so
they
weird.
look at each other. What do you think is going on?
I think that this is not the first time that he's made those sort of commentary towards her, and I think that I think that he's the only other character that I think has any sort of understanding of that these are iterations of the same events. Because some of like the "you're late" sort of reaction, or the way the fact that he reacted differently in the second go round to the first. I don't think he has as much conscious knowledge as Lola has, but I think there's something running like in the
I
background.
would say he's more consciously aware with the fact that this just doesn't seem to be your day. He might be aware of the
That's a
fact
good point.
that this has happened several times, her
Yeah.
trying to figure it out, and every time it's getting worse. And so this really isn't your day.
Yeah.
This is just the day that you're going to keep going through this for eternity till you get to that magical golden
Where you
solution.
fix it, right? And I think he
Same
has.
thing happened to Bill Murray once.
I think there maybe have been a sexual harassment situation going on too.
That's what I was
Absolutely.
running to because the way she looks at him is like with contempt and like some of
He's
the
he's very sleazy.
The,
He
the
says to her,
princess and the like.
It's-
You're
He's a
here to
creep.
see Big Daddy.
He's not necessarily a sleazy character,
But he's condescending.
kind of a creep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Definitely
I don't know.
agree.
That was one of the most interesting exchanges that she has. It's like each time with him it's a little different, but
He's
each
creepy,
time
he's
it's like
condescending.
It's
and
creepy
then
in a
at the end,
different
she sits
like vein. No, I
Yeah.
completely agree.
But
But then at the
creepy.
end,
It
she
is-
sits with him in the ambulance.
Yeah.
Which is
And we
interesting.
never
Look-
get snapshots of him.
No, that's true.
With every other
Because he
character,
exists outside of time.
We get
He's
the
Albert
snapshots.
He's a Time Lord?
Maybe.
Oh god, which
Yeah,
doctor
I
is he?
agree.
Didn't say it was
Yeah, but that was
Oh,
like,
God, he's the
peculiar
master.
to me. So,
Oh.
I also
One of
like
the other ones, they were a
other
full race.
Yeah.
a
Yeah, but
couple
they
of
also
things in
almost
the
got
film that
exterminated.
I thought were sort of gimmicky, but maybe it's just because I'm not very like
He's Albert
elevated
Camus.
in my
No,
film
Albert
taste.
Camus
You know,
never
I just pitched
existed.
Fast and Furious 8, so obviously I like some serious smut. And I'm totally proud of that. I am proud.
I'm proud that you admitted that.
My smutty taste. So, anyways, the animation scenes in the film that they seemed kind of gimmicky to me because if you lose them, it doesn't seem like it would make a difference. Like that scene where she's running down the stairs. I was talking to Jordan about this on the way over. He said that there's like a visual motif there going on. So I was curious what people thought about that. And like the snapshot thing is interesting, but I didn't fully understand like why use those snapshots? Why not like just like show like the person actually going through? Why was it like
Budget.
freeze frames?
Budget.
You know what I
I
mean?
think it
Like,
might
is
be-
that a gimmick or is that like
I think it's kind of the concept of pictures worth 1,000 words. So it takes like the highlights of a film segment And it's just kind of like pow, 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 pow. You have the
Plus,
story.
it was already a long movie to begin with.
Maybe
It
it's
was
a
75 minutes.
That's
it was
not that
incredibly
super
not
short.
a long movie.
It felt much
In
longer.
fact, if it was an American film, it never would have been 75 minutes.
maybe
I've
it's
never
another
seen-
film reference to a director called fucking Chris Marker.
Probably not.
He, all right.
If it was an
No,
American
he's not.
flick, it
He's-
never would have been less than
he's
86.
It's
What-
the Albert Chef.
The animation sequence,
close.
I would almost be interested in looking at the background of the
Yeah.
filming.
Did he die
Was
in
that
a
something that they
horrific
just
car
couldn't
accident?
get
Yeah.
right in live, so they
Directed
animated
movie
it?
Inspired from
Because that is almost what I feel from it. And I feel like the presence of the dog and the kids, whether or not they're faster, slower, or on like the different times, that's where it's relevant.
Do you
And so I
think-
feel like I wonder if it was like a budgetary thing.
Do you think it was almost like a creative differences thing where like maybe early on they thought it was a good idea and then by the end they're like, oh well, we should drop the animated sequences, but then like we were kind of too late to cut it.
that
What?
particular
Or
sequence
maybe
was too-
something went wrong technically with the filming of it, and they're like, "Well, let's animate it. Animated is kind of big right now." Since we lost our footage in the
It does. I agree
Apartment.
with. I agree with Heidi. It does feel gimmicky. So that's why I kind of wonder.
it only feels super gimmicky because it's like only that one spot.
Yeah.
Yes, if it happened
Yeah.
more often.
Yeah.
If it was like, I mean, they do that same scene over like 3 times.
Yes.
So it's not like it's
Yeah.
only once in the entire movie, but it's the same scene every time.
And it's
like,
the
wow.
exact same lead-in.
Yeah.
Because by the time of it, I was like, I don't care if anyone's a Sagittarius.
Right.
Because that loop shot. And
Yes, it's great. Your mistress. What do you call that?
Yeah.
Her
Right.
extramarital affair.
Yeah, fair enough.
What do you call? What? I mean, the woman would be a mistress.
Yeah.
What would you call him?
Mister, I don't know. I've never.
No. That's not Mister. I call people Mister all the time. That is not what that means. That's not why I call them Mister.
I almost want to look at the background.
Travis, of course. I'm surprised Travis doesn't know that.
that.
Gentleman's not a caller because it's extramarital.
Dying.
I mean, I guess it could still be a caller, but it's not.
Maybe
That
it's gentleman.
dude, she fucking.
Not gentleman. Again,
Sorry,
gentleman is a
stop
thing.
No, continue swearing all the time.
No, I mean,
Disregard.
Gentlemen! I give you corn!
no, it does feel gimmicky.
There is no exact male equivalent of mistress, but it's usually accepted to be lover or boyfriend.
Fair enough.
That dude she hooking up with. Oh, yeah, the
A
son.
sugar daddy.
What's your-
She's
what's your
married to a
next
banker. She
discussion?
don't need no
well,
sugar daddy.
In the last one, I combined a couple, so for the sake of time. But the last one I want to ask is, this is just sort of like a fun, imaginative question. If we made a movie about the bum, what would it be called, and what would happen? The bum. Yeah,
I already know.
Hobo with a Walter.
Hobo with a Walter PPK.
Is that what he had?
Yeah, it was a Walter PPK.
I really think it needs a spin-off.
I was actually, I wish I'd brought my actual notes that I was
Totally
taking while I was
Walter.
watching this movie.
Because Mako had a
The
different design.
blind, I actually had a brief
That's why I
moment
thought that
in the
weird
thing,
comp on
because like the
that.
blind lady who keeps
That was a
showing up
Walter.
in various
That was
different
anyway.
iterations.
The director's mother.
Well, she obviously is meant to be sort of Deus Ex Machina. She clearly is aware of the loops because she's like, no, you need to wait. No, this time we're not waiting. Like situation. The blind woman is the only person that like Ryan's, of course, watch out so I can't like have this argument with him. Who I feel is 100%.
I will substitute for Ryan.
100% aware of the loops, and then there for a minute where he was taking the gun from Manny, I'm like, is he also in it? And then I'm like, no, he's just excited about having a gun. Like, there's no greater meta plot to this.
This movie
He's
ca-
just excited about
The
shooting
movie
things.
I'm going to use to argue from earlier on, I think Donnie Darko came out earlier on.
Donnie Darko came out later.
I have never seen Donnie
But
Darko.
it would link up with Donnie Darko, where when the individual realities start to converge, knowledge of the reality begins converging to people that don't pertain it. So, the blind lady in Path 3 tells him, no, you need to wait. That's because after 3 incarnations, the knowledge is starting to carry over.
Well, but the thing with the blind lady is she doesn't just show up in that shot. She's also one of the nuns. So in those
Because the
two
one wearing
iterations,
sunglasses in part 2.
in the 2 iterations, it makes me think that the blind woman is some sort of divine figure, manipulative figure. And the other reason why I will argue for Lola being, if not partially aware, having more awareness is that screaming thing.
Yeah, the screen.
Where the breaking glass. That
love
happens
that
in
scene.
each thing, and I was like, of course, like.
I think the screaming thing is like focus and intention.
Yeah,
And
but it
yeah.
shows that is abnormal. No one reacts to it like everyone acts like it's bizarre.
Right.
But if they are following the plot that Lola actually did know what had transpired before, and like she's so intent on getting it, that would explain her desperation in that moment when she.
Well, I mean,
screamed.
she does the desperation multiple times, so it already others her. I guess that would be the word I'd want. She's not already, even in the first iteration before everything started to go wrong, she screams when she's on the phone with Manny and it shatters the glass. That already places her outside of the normal people in the rest of the movie. That others her, makes her separate. So that lends itself to her being outside the rest of the narrative or being aware of the rest of the narrative in a lot of ways that they are. And we're not calling the sequel Hobo with a Shotgun because we'll get sued.
No, Hobo with a Walter PPK.
I'm fairly sure that still opens us up for.
I don't know
crime.
why we're naming a segment.
Because I think there should be a spin-off movie for the hobo.
Yeah, the
and I want to know what people would call their
That wasn't a PPK though.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a Walter.
It was a Walter. It wasn't a PPK. It's
I'm
too
buying
big.
sausages for everyone.
Also, I'm not convinced it was a Walter. I think it was a Makarov.
No, Walter.
It wasn't
Makarov's
Walter.
got a different backing
It's got
towards
that
where
weird
the.
hump.
Okay.
Receiver.
We're at the.
Also,
5
they're
minute
in post-unification Germany. I'm looking at IFADB.
Okay. Before we get off on the gun porn, Nick, did you
Too
want to
late.
talk about the music at all, or are you
IFADB, Run Lola Run.
Oh, well. Back in the day when I saw this movie, because the last time I saw it was actually years and years and years ago. Back when I think like maybe it was like a year or two after it came out.
whippersnappers have no idea.
That was when like techno and electronica music was like becoming more prevalent in films and everything like that. Like Hackers was a very big film that
Son of a bitch.
had some of that music
It was
there
a
as well.
PPK. Son of a bitch.
Holy shit,
And
I
I
was
mean-
right.
Go ahead. Keep going.
We're talking gun shit.
Yeah, but I mean back. I think it was Jenny who said like the cyberpunk feel
Do you
for
have any
Run Lola
calculator?
Run.
It did feel a little cyberpunk to me.
Yeah, I mean just her
It's like the
look.
weird
I don't
underworld
understand
look, like the
Yeah.
And I mean, even Manny
I'll have my
looked kind of
45
reminiscent of the main protagonist in Hackers as well.
Yeah.
Yet here they
Just gonna
are,
say,
just like
if you
having the
wanted to go to
same
the
kind of
range.
music.
Well, I was talking to
If
this
you have
German
time
Johnny
for
Lee Miller, pretty
I'm
much.
taking-
He will. I agree.
Yeah.
There you go.
Even though he is sexy as shit in Bader Meinhof Complex, which is the only other
It's a
movie I've
Monday
seen.
starting calendar. Keep
Awesome.
in mind.
Anyway.
Yeah, so
I have.
no, but I mean,
I still have no current.
Interesting
I
little
have
you don't see that like that kind of
15th is
genre
Good
music
Friday.
and stuff in movies anymore.
So,
Because it was just kind of
PRC
like that
holiday.
subsection.
It was
Saturday.
that 90s
Sunday.
I'm
cyberpunk-esque
taking Monday the
dystopia.
16th.
There was that time in the 90s, like Atari
No, 17th.
Teenage Riot was coming out, and like
16th
fucking
Easter.
album.
16th is Easter.
The other thing that's interesting about the music in this film is that it was all written and composed by the same guy who
Yeah,
wrote
Monday the 17th.
and directed the movie itself.
Tuesday,
Right.
the
The
18th.
vocalist is
I know
actually the
17th
actress who
is your
plays Lola.
birthday.
Yeah.
I know you're
I do.
Next day.
I do
Next day.
think that it is kind of sad that after she did Run Lola Run, the only other thing
I'll
that
have
she
my
was
pistol
really
paid off
in that
by
was
then.
majorly known for
I was gonna
the
go pick
Born
up 2
Identity.
boxes. Of
Oh wait,
She was-
Anatomy. Have you seen Anatomy?
No, I haven't.
Anatomy's fucking awesome. It's a ridiculously cool
But yeah,
horror
it's
film.
not all
Maybe
that
we're
really
really
well
know.
known.
Because that baby.
Was she in that?
Yeah, she was totally in
But
that.
you're
It's
also
about like a
a block
guy.
away from a
Have you seen like
range.
the body
not a
worlds,
member there.
like the art and stuff where like,
Yeah.
you know,
Most
they take
ranges have
daggers.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a guy. It's
I
about
don't
a guy
know
who
if it
like
does. Check.
shoots up like
That's
humans
not
with
That
that
are
stuff
alternative
and
Oh.
busts
down
something
there.
and does like
That's
live
really neat.
autopsies
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, it's
Um,
so cool.
But after she did Born Identity, like she was seen really briefly in the sequel, and then they just kind of killed her off. Right after that happened, it It's like she dropped off the face of the planet.
She's been in one of the TV shows as well that I haven't seen.
Like
But I was
in
looking at her
the
like
US.
in the US. She's been like a ton.
I think Jenny had one last thing.
The last thing, we're talking about the music. My favorite use of the music is the scene after they rob the grocery store, where it's that sort of Sinatra-esque, like our life is going to be great sort of thing. And I really enjoy any time they use that as a movie sequence, where you have the movie is the music is so incredibly inappropriate for the shot that it kind of is just bizarre and strange. That juxtaposition, the sort of dissonant, like, oh, we're free, we're going to be happy, blah, 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 and then, like, she gets shot. And I think that was a great musical cue, but I actually did not like that they did not use that musical cue the second time when Manny gets killed. I thought that was an opportunity that they wasted. Because it would have been really good.
But then again, you don't want to hear a good thing.
No, but I think it would have been narratively appropriate. And then have that as the scene, or the music when they walk out, when they are actually successful. There's a plot hole in that scene, by the way. The bum has spent money. There is no longer 10,000 marks in that bag.
Right? He just kind of gets away with it.
Yeah, he kind of.